Alright, so this is the second part of the video, and we are going to finish the door handle. Now the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take our tape measure, so type a T, and do your best to get it on the red axis, like I've done here. And you're going to measure from the outside of your cylinder there 104 millimeters. Okay. Now you're going to take a tape measure, and along the green axis you're going to draw 10 millimeters and then 10 millimeters. Okay. Then you're going to take your line tool, and from this outermost endpoint you're going to draw to one of your 10 millimeter marks, and if your line doesn't stop drawing, then just redraw over the line you just drew, and then do the same thing from the other side, and then connect them. Okay, then we're going to push this down 4 millimeters. So use your P or push tool, down 4, enter. And you may have an extra line. You can delete that, that's fine. Okay. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So I'm going to change my orientation just a little bit. We're going to use the protractor tool to make a 110-degree angle. Let me make sure I got that right. Okay, yes, so you're gonna go to the dog, you're gonna type protractor, click on protractor, and make sure that your protractor is not blue, it's black. You're gonna click this endpoint here, and then click on this line, and you're going to type 110. Enter, and that will give you 110-degree angle. Then you're going to take your line tool, and from this point you're going to go along your guide point 60, so you can type 60 millimeters. Now this part is a little bit tricky, but bear with me. You're going to hit the space bar, or you're going to come over here and use your selection tool. Select that line, Command C, which is going to copy it, and Command V, which will paste it. And then you're going to drag it to the right place, making sure that you select the end of it. If you don't select the end of it, it will be very difficult to drag it to the right place. Then you're going to draw a line between those two, making another plane. Yay. Okay, we're about halfway there. Now this part is kind of difficult, but I'm going to show you kind of a cheating way to do it. You're going to draw a line at the midpoint and go to midpoint. You're going to push this out, and it really doesn't matter how much you push it out. So I'm going to push it out here. Okay, so I've pushed this out, and I'm going to measure, in actuality, let's go back one. Or you can just type 3, and, oh, my push tool was off. So I'm going to have to do this differently, or undo it. So I'm going to push it out 3, and then I'm going to erase that line, that line, that line, that line, that line, and that line. Okay. Okay, so we're going to get the protractor tool, and let me just make sure I have the right angle. 56.7. Let's do a 60-degree angle. I believe that's what it was supposed to be. So along here, again, doing the same thing, you're going to go 60 degrees. Okay, now that should intersect with the end here, and with your line tool you should be able to draw a line from here to the intersection here. Okay, and then draw a line here and erase this line and this line. Now, I don't know why it forces you to draw this diagonally, but it does, so we're going to go ahead and do it. Okay, now, because we just did a bunch of work and we don't want to redo it, we're going to copy a line. But I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So we're going to use our select tool, which was this one. Copy this line, paste this line, again, drag it from the end and put it on the end. And I don't know why that's not showing up very well, but we'll deal with it. So I'm going to now erase this, this. Oh, looks like that didn't work. So I'm going to have to redraw a piece from here to there. Nope. Okay, well, I guess we'll use the protractor tool. Protractor is now down here. Let's measure from the bottom and go 60. Enter. And we're going to do our line tool. Go from here to our intersection and to this edge and erase the extra and use the line tool again and draw a diagonal up to here. And we'll have to redraw this here. And here. Okay. Alright, so we have this part done. Okay, if you look carefully at this thing, it looks bigger than it actually is. From here, this direction, it's only 4 millimeters, and from here to here, it's only 2 millimeters. So what we're going to try is we're going to try and measure along this axis 4 millimeters. Right? Oh no, it's 36. Okay, so it's 10 millimeters, excuse me. So it's 10, and then it goes down to 2. Let's make sure we did that right. It goes from the edge, it's 2 millimeters. So let's do a line on the green axis. Line, green axis. Then we're going to measure with our tape measure 2 millimeters in, 2, measure 2 in. Now I'm discovering that I didn't get the center point, so I'm going to have to start this over. But that's fine. So instead, I'm going to try a different tack. I'm just going to draw a line on the green axis, and because the midpoint is the middle, we're going to go tape this direction to find the midpoint. We're going to draw a line, and we're going to measure with a tape measure from here We're gonna go 10. Enter. So that little mark is 10. Now we can erase this, and this. And we can draw our line again. Oop. Last second it dropped. Should be on the green. And if you're having a hard time keeping it on the green, you can use the left arrow. When you toggle the left arrow, so I'm over here, it will lock to the green axis. So that's the left arrow key on your keyboard. Okay, so the edge of this is tapered 2 millimeters from the edge. So I'm going to type 2. Okay, so these edges are actually beveled. We're not going to worry about that right now. So I just went to the end point here and drew a line. I'm going to use my orbit tool to get on the other side. Line tool again. Draw here. Okay. Now this part I kind of guessed because that's all you can do. So I did a 2-inch bevel. You won't know what that means yet. Maybe you will. So I'm going to measure 2 millimeters this direction to this direction. I'm going to use this arc tool. And it really doesn't matter which direction you go, but that's going to create a bevel. Oh, it didn't create a bevel. How about that? It should create a bevel. Okay. Let's go. Enter. No, I didn't want it to go past my line, and it did, so I'm going to have to pull this out a little bit further. So let's do my tape measure and go 3 there. 3. Oh, I clicked in the wrong place. 3. And let's try the arc again. Point, and that'll about do it. 1 millimeter, 3 away from each other. So we're going to do this again on the other side. So on my tape measure, I'm measuring 3 millimeters, 3 millimeters, and doing a 1 millimeter arc. Nope. 1, enter. Okay, and I can erase the extra. Erase. Now you can push this all the way down to here. Not gonna. Okay. And that, my friends, is the end. And it looks like I did it a little bit differently on the second time, but that's okay. So, turn in your picture, and that's all we will do with the door handle drawing.